but I'm not annoyed with the prospect that they've got a few quote unquote objections. If anything, falling off their bicycle, you're not going to be like, can you stop fucking falling off? You're like, shit, like they're really struggling with this. Like, let me give them love. Let me give them care. Now, as we talked about, the love doesn't come from pandering to them or patting them on the back. It comes from, here's the fucking truth. But I'm not annoyed with the prospect that they've got a few quote unquote objections. If anything, if you're going to get annoyed of them at the objection stage because they're still out of falsehood, you would be annoyed of them in the discovery stage when they're not getting out their own way. So you
Yeah.
mastering that identity in the discovery of like, people are being people, like it's not their fault. It's sad. If anything, I look at prospects that are in their own way and I'm like, man, like I feel so sad for you. Like you're really fucking up your life right now. I have no negative feelings towards them or judgment. And this was a big training from because I was the opposite. When made me realize the prospects that are being the most dickhead prospects, they're the ones that are suffering the most. These prospects that just fucking get aggravated, start calling you a salesman. Like when reframed my mind that like, think of how lonely they are in their life and how unhappy they are right now, that's how they're treating you.
Yeah.
Imagine what they're carrying. And when I had that click moment, I was like, oh, wow, like these are the people that are like borderline ODing on fucking pills because they're depressed. Like, have empathy for them and help them.
Totally understand. And I'm just thinking about like of my business, I got a bad review recently about it was an objection that I didn't take I got emotional and fucked it up. But that person definitely fucking needed the most and was in the worst situation. So it was like definitely feeling that sense of like I failed them and that in that bit there because I was more concerned about myself and like getting this thing. It was like so obvious to me, like, oh, you just have to fucking buy this thing and you'll be fine. When I didn't come from a place of like, oh, I get it, I understand. Let's just work it out and get you through this.
Which is exactly the same in the discovery. Benevolent alpha. You got to have both. You can't just alpha. Excuse me. You can't just alpha someone in the discovery. Neither can you just alpha someone up in the objections. Like just buy this and it's going to be great. Like, well, where's the benevolence in that? Same as in the discovery. You get to feel me doing it on the role plays where you're like, Josh is really blunt with people and really direct, but like you can feel that he cares. And you've probably seen enough of the members of
Sure.
the mastermind say when I role play with them, it was Drew yesterday. They're like, you can feel that like Josh really cares about me. And like, if you remove that feeling and you then keep the alpha side, you're just steamrolling over someone, which is a horrible experience.
Yeah.
So, and then the
100%.
final bit was the mechanics. Like, how clear are you now and how confident are you that the mechanics is, you already had the mechanics down?
Yeah, I agree. It's like the mechanics are the same. It's just the pressure that I've put on myself and the emotional part that I've allowed rather than being stoic has then, you know, got in my head and made me to have this fucking belief that now I need to objection handle rather than I need to just help the person come to truth.
Yep. Awesome stuff. Anything else?
And yeah, last point was that you're right. Like this is another chapter recently in UCM. You've been really hard on like unselling if they're just refusing to get out of their own way and they're just in the discovery, just like you can unsell and really mean it and feel it
Yeah.
rather than just saying, oh yeah, I would unsell, like really meaning that if they're in their own way, I'm gonna fucking get off the school because I have better things to do.
Yeah. Maybe I should have done more training on how in the objections that is different because that's like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you had a child and your child had fucked up teeth and you asked your child, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, maybe this is a little bit unrealistic, and you said to your child like, you know we should probably get your teeth fixed. Like, you're going to not like this when you're an adult. We should probably get you braces. And the child thinks about it and they're like, yeah, I agree. I think I should have braces. Like, I don't like the idea of having braces, but I agree longer term, this is the right thing to do. And then you take the child to the dentist, and for whatever reason, when they have to put the braces on, because their teeth are all fucked, it's really painful. And your daughter is like, Dad, I don't want it now. I don't want it. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, oh, she's changed her mind? No, you're going to fucking hold her in the chair until they get those fucking braces on, because we had the conversation when you were not emotional about the price drop or the pain or the fear or the insecurities or the hard work. You made the decision then. Now that you're trying to back out of it, daddy's here. Like, I'm going to hold you in the chair and have you fucking crying your eyes out, which sucks as a parent, but I'm doing it for you.
Yeah.
That's like the analogy of like the objections. It's like, if you're doing the discovery of like, you should probably get braces, you're going to get bullied at school for the next 3 years. You're going to look stupid, but longer term, you're going to like it. And the child can say yes or no. They have free will. If they're like, no, I don't want to be bullied for the next 3 years. Okay. I think you should get braces. I think you'll regret it in the future if you don't, but I'm not going to force you to be bullied. But if we've had an adult conversation about it and you've agreed with it, then when it comes to actually getting the braces on and it's uncomfortable and it's painful and you're kicking and screaming, I've got to hold the line.
Yes.
Does that make sense? The analogy?
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So,
Because you hold them down, but you hold them down with love.
I mean, you wouldn't have any other way of doing it. Your fucking child's crying their eyes out, being like, Dad, please make it stop. Please make it stop. Please make it stop. And you're like, you're fucking tearing up because you're like, fuck, like, I have to do this. That's the philosophy in the objection handling, which we just did a few examples of. Like, I'm going to be a dick to you and be blunt to you because we've just agreed your lack of urgency is why you are where you are. And you saying I need 21 days is fucking bullshit. And you know it, and I know it, and I'm not going to get off this call not telling you it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You can get off the call, hang up the phone, bullshit to yourself, fine. But one or two things will happen. 24 hours from now, you'll come back with your fucking tail wagging between your legs, being like, you know what, I should have just bought yesterday. And then, we'll have to see what happens then. Or, you'll just keep staying where you are, which isn't where you want to be. So when you understand the philosophy, which is why in UCM we don't teach tactics, we teach the mindset, everything just comes from there. When you be the person you need to be, how you do it will just happen.
I agree.
Anything else, brother? How many deals have you already lost this week that you could have closed but didn't because you were out of state? I'm not a fan of sales hacks, but if there was one thing you could do before your next sales call to raise your closing percentage, it's using my patented pre-call checklist. Imagine taking just 60 seconds to read 5 to 7 personalized bullet points on a piece of paper, and as unbelievable as it may sound, puts you into the optimal state to access your highest sales skills on every call. That's the pre-call checklist. I'm going to show you how to create your own. All you need is a piece of paper and to go through the training that I'm going to give you. Thousands of salespeople have used this framework to close more deals, and you can have your own for free. No strings attached in a matter of minutes. Click the link below this video, enter your email, and grab it right now.